before making any statements, he has to take care of the future of the company. The directors of the company are only authorized and made responsible to take care of all the business activities, but they're not the owners of the company's property. A person who has not attained the age of 21 and who is above 70 years is not eligible to become the managing director of the company. Hello students, you are welcome to the BCom second semester company law third unit. We are going to discuss. I'm Professor Rajesh L.R., Department of Commerce and Management, Vidhyaashram, first grade college, Temple of Excellence, MYSURU. In today's unit, we are going to discuss about the company's administration. Means who has to take care of the company, who are the main pillars of the company, and who will be held responsible for the company, and what are the powers and duties and responsibilities have to face while taking the responsibility or the chair of that particular position. In our previous sessions, we have discussed about formation of a company, introduction to a company. In the introduction to a company, we have discussed about types of the companies. In the formation of the company, we have discussed about the main documents which were required to form a company, and it was prospectus, memorandum of association, articles of association, and commencement of business certificates. These are the major documents which were required to form any company. In today's session, we are going to discuss about company administration. So in today's agenda we have here, we are going to discuss about the managerial personnel, and we are going to discuss managing director appointment, powers, duties, and responsibilities, and who are called old-time directors as well as independent directors, and appointment of the auditor and his qualification, duties, and responsibilities will be discussed, and who is company secretary and what is the qualification is required, and his appointment rights, duties, and liabilities, and removal are the concept what we are going to discuss in this unit. In the first concept, we are going to discuss who is the managerial person. Say, managerial person means here directors, managing directors, whole-time directors, or manager of the company whose remuneration is subject to limits provided as per the provisions of Companies Act 2013, Section 197. It says that when each and every director are restricted or limited to certain amount of remuneration, they cannot gain more than that one. So now we came to know that when who are the main persons are required to start or to take care of the organization here. Now the main persons are called as managerial persons. They are none other than directors, managing director, whole-time director, or a manager are the main pillars of the company. And in present today's scenario, they will be called as a key managerial personnel. They'll be called as key managerial person, that is nothing but KMP. This is the expansion for key managerial person, means KMP is a short word, and for that one it will be key managerial persons. It refers to a group of people who are in charge of maintaining the operation of the company. They are saying that when KMP are the people who are the main persons who take care of the entire business activities of the company. The statement here says that when Accounting Standard 18, AS 18, state that KMP are people who have authority and responsibility, means who have been authorized and given the responsibility of the organization business activities here, and who plan the entire structure or the procedures or the work of the organization. Planning means here, it is nothing but here deciding in advance what to do, when to do, how to do, and who has to do it, that one, who will do the concept. Now, they are going to frame all the structure and then they will decide the next process of work. And even KMP will direct how the work has to be made. And they'll guide, they will instruct, and even they motivate all the employees of the other levels of the management here. They will control entire activities of the reporting enterprise. They're saying that when all the KMP will take care of planning, directing, and controlling. Controlling means they're going to assign some work for the people and they will fix certain standards for that one. And after the work is executed here, they're going to verify and they'll make the comparison with the actual work and the standards fixed by the KMP, and they will just check out and evaluate that one, whether where these people are lagging behind. If they're not meeting the standards, where they're lagging behind. If they're above the standards, so they will motivate them to work and they'll be remunerated with high benefits for the employees. Now, who are the people our KMP will be there in the present scenario? Chief Executive Officer, Chief Financial Officer, Company Secretary, Whole-Time Director are the key managerial personnel. So now KMP means here CEO. CEO is the main person and COO and CFO. In the present scenario, they will be called as CEO, COO, CFO. CEO, Chief Executive Officer, COO, Chief Operational Officer, CFO, Chief Financial Officers. These are the main people are be called as pillars of the organization, where the entire business activity will be depending on these three major persons. The position of directors. The directors who are going to take the responsibility of being the person authorized for the entire business activities, they act as agent of the company. They act as a servants of the company. Even they're the officers of the company. They will act as agents. Agents means a company as an artificial person acts through directors. Means, as in the previous sessions we have discussed, we can view the company. Means here I can feel the existence of the company, but I can't touch the company here. Now, if I want to know that the company's existence, that be made through the availability of the directors who are elected representative of the shareholders. They are in the eyes of the law. All the KMP people will be under the eyes of the law and be appointed by the shareholders of the company. They work as the agents for which they act. Means they are saying that when the directors will act as an agent for the shareholders and for the company. Next, we have here directors as servants. They're not servants of the company. A director may, however, become a servant in a different capacity. Servant means not serving here. A servant means where they're going to act as a servant of the company on different capacities like guiding and monitoring and supporting the shareholders of the company. Next, directors work as a officer. Director is an officer of the company. As such, they are liable to certain penalties. If the company makes any default, the directors are responsible to make the payment of all the penalties, because it was a decision made by the directors and not by the company. So the directors have to make the payment of penalties and they're going to become the officers as the officer. Provisions of the Company Act are not strictly complied with. I mean, they're saying that when here certain restrictions are not given properly and they're going to face certain penalties. That's it. The next we have here position of a director. The fourth position of a director will be direct as a trustee of the company. Company's money and property, in the sense that they must account. They're saying that when the entire assets of the company and the property of the company are to be accounted for all the company's money. The directors have to make the statements in such a way that what are the assets are there and what are the debts are there of the company and property over which they exercise control. Directors are not trustees in the real sense of the word, because they are not vested with the ownership of the company's property. They're saying that when the directors of the company are only authorized and made responsible to take care of all the business activities, but they're not the owners of the company's property. For that reason, it is called as that one in the real sense of the word, because they're not vested with the ownership of the company. They're only authorized person to monitor and to control of the business structure or the business activities for the benefit of the company as well as for the shareholders' investment. Directors as a trustees of the power entrusted to them in the sense that they must exercise their powers honesty in the interest of the company and the shareholders and not in their own interest. They're saying that when they'll be made as a trustee and all the directors are authorized to take care of all the business dealings of the company by believing that these people will never disclose any sort of information to the outsiders, and they'll work as in an honesty manner where they can gain some amount. The shareholders will feel in such a way that when the KMP will never work for their own purpose, they work for the purpose of the shareholders as well as for the company. Next we have here, who cannot become the managing director of the company. Now we have discussed it. Who are the key manager persons? CEO, COO and CFO. Now we are going to discuss here who cannot become the managing director of the company. A person who has not attained the age of 21 and who is above 70 years is not eligible to become the managing director of the company. Only if the articles are in the AGM, if the special resolution has been passed to appoint any person who has not attained 21 years or above 70 years, it is left to the members of the company to take decision whether that should be appointed or not. The next one, undischarged insolvent has at any time been adjudged as an insolvent. If any person has been adjudged as insolvent by the court, means insolvent is a person whose debts are more rather than the income. If he has been termed as insolvent, then such person is not eligible to become any company's managing director anywhere in the world. Next, as at any time suspended payment to his creditors to make or as at any time made a composition with them. Means they are saying that when a person who has not paid the debts of the creditors on time and he was in the default position, then he cannot become the managing director of the company. If the creditors feel that this person is not eligible, then he cannot become the managing director of the company. As at any time been convicted by a court, means if any person has been imprisonment for n number of days or certain number of days, then is not eligible to become the managing director of the company. Had not been sentenced to imprisonment, already said people, if he has been imprisoned, means then he is not eligible for the managing director position. What is the duty, liability, responsibility of managing director? As I earlier said that one, who can become the managing director and who cannot become the managing. Now, who has taken the responsibility of the managing director, what will be his role and what are the things are there? The managing director must act in accordance with the articles of association. Whatever the rules and regulations framed in the articles of association, according to that, the managing directors have to work and take the proper decisions for the betterment of the company's future. And they have to pursue the best interest of the stakeholders of the company in good faith and promote the objects of the company. All the managing directors have to take the faith of all the investors, and they have to work for the company and not for individuality. And whatever the amount invested by the shareholders, that has to be controlled properly and invested in a proper to gain more profits and distribute that one in the form of dividend for the shareholders and not enjoying that amount for their personal purposes. Managing director use independent judgment to exercise his duties with due to and reasonable care, skill and vigilance. They are saying that one in certain cases, the managing director will be given a small right, stating that one he can judge certain cases based on his knowledge, skill and ability, and he has to take care before taking any decisions about for the future of the company. Always be aware of conflict of interest situation and should try to avoid such conflicts. They're saying that one before making any statement, the managing director has to think that one whether with this words any conflict is going to arise between the directors or members of the company or any person outsider of the company with the statement made by the directors. He has to think twice or thrice and he has to check that one whether the statement is going to harm for the company or not, and he should not create such type of conflicts in the market for giving a wrong statement or wrong advice to the public here. Before making any statements, he has to take care of the future of the company here. Ensure that adequate deliberation are held in connection with the related party transactions. They're saying that one the managing director has to take certain responsibility deliberately for making certain payments whenever it requires. And it is not like that, just getting the money into the business and not making the payment for the outsiders. Means they're not making any payment for the debts, whatever the company has borrowed. It is not like that. Whatever the amount has been received here, that has to be made payment, utilize it for the payment, and then the remaining amount should be used for other purposes. What is the next duty of the managing director? Ensure vigil mechanism of the company and the users are not prejudicially affected on account of such use. They are saying that one entire control should be made by the managing directors and they have to take care the investments of the funds made by the shareholders in the company, and he has to control each and every pie to pie information should be there with the managing director, where they are investing, what will be the returns for that one, when the amount will be returned, what will be the NPV, net present value of the investment, and what will the ROI, and what will be the payback period. Like this, they should have accountability for each and everything, and they have to monitor that one, whether if I invest this money in the market, whether I'm going to receive this money from this project, particular project, within how many days. They have to prepare a statement, and they should control that one. And they should not give wrong information to the investors, stating that one, we have invested and we couldn't gain, sorry for that one. They should not say like that. They should have the proper decisions before investing. Ensure confidentiality of sensitive proprietary information and commercial secrets. Each and every managing director of the organization is the main pillar of the organization. Already I've said you people. And these people, what they have to do here, they should not disclose any sort of information to any outsiders at any cost, because these are the main persons who are responsible, are the people who are going to take care of business activities. So now these people should have faith that, and even the shareholders should have faith on the directors, and directors should have a faith on the shareholders and other people here. And they should not disclose any information, any secrets, or any formula, or any information of your MOA or AOA to any third party. Next, the managing director not assign his office, and any assignments so made shall be void. They're saying that when the managing director has doesn't have any right or a duty to assign his job or his position on the vacation tour. Like for example, if I'm the managing director of the company, if I'm going for abroad for 3 months, so now in this 3 months, somebody has to take care of my business activities in the company. For that reason, I cannot appoint a third party stating that one, you just take care of my business here as a managing director of the company for 3 months. After coming back from the abroad, I'll continue as a managing director. I cannot leave my office to any third party. If I'm leaving my office to any third party, it is void. Void means it is cancelled or rejected. It is rejected as per the Company Law Act of 2013. It is not at all possible for any managing director to transfer his duty to a third party or to an unknown person. There are many other responsibilities and duties of managing director. If he contravenes the provisions of the Companies Act of 2013, they're saying that one, there are plenty of informations are there where the managing director should be aware of that one and will be held responsible if he is going to cross the provisions of the Companies Act 2013, and he may be punishable for such activities. So before making any decisions or taking any steps here, the managing director should go through all the information. Then he has to discuss and then they have to take the decisions in the meeting. The next we have here, what are the powers of the directors? Now we have discussed the duty, liability of managing director. Now we are discussing the powers of the directors. As per Companies Act of 2013, the board of directors of the company has the following powers. First one, power to make calls in respect of money unpaid on shares. They are saying that when all the directors have the right to call the money on the unpaid shares. Means if 25,000 shareholders have not paid a call money, they can make a call on the particular number of shares for the unpaid. And next, second most power they have, call meetings on suo motu basis. Means on requirement basis, just call the meeting immediately for urgent situations. If any order made by the government or the court for certain things, emergency, they can call the meeting on suo motu basis. And the directors have a right to issue shares, debentures, or any instrument in respect of the company. They can issue shares or debentures of the company. Means such shares and debentures should be mentioned in the AOA as well as MOA. Next one, they have the power to borrow and invest funds for the company. On behalf of the company, the board of directors have a power to borrow the funds from the market and invest the same in the market. But the board of directors will be held responsible if anything happens and not the company, but the company has to face the problem. So before that, the board of directors think that one, why we have to borrow the money from the market. If we are going to borrow the money from the market, whether it should be a long-term funds are required or short-term funds are required, or whether I require a working capital money. So for what purpose the funds are required, they have to just check out that one and then they have to monitor and they have to borrow the funds for the company. Approve financial statements and board reports. All the directors have the rights to approve the financial statements, trading account, profit and loss account, balance sheet, and cash flow statement. Whatever the statements are prepared by the finance department, they have all the rights to give the approval and make the report. And next one, approving bonus to employees. Board of directors are eligible for to declare the bonus to the employees of the organization if the company gains some benefit in the market. Declare dividend in the company. The board of directors can declare the dividend. Dividend is nothing but distribution of profits to the shareholders of the company. At the time of declaring any dividend, they have to monitor in such a way and they have to influence the factors which may affect for the dividend decisions. They have to check that one. If I declare the dividend now, whether what is the rate of dividend I have to declare, and earlier what the rate was declared, that have to make the comparison before making current year's dividend declaration. Why means if they declare the dividends, like for example, during 2021-22, the board of directors had declared 4%, and in the 22-23, if they declare 10%, and the shareholders may feel good, but in the upcoming year, if you are not able to pay 10%, they may think in a different angle. The shareholders may withdraw the amount. For that reason, what is the stable rate of dividend can be given to the shareholders? Just check that one. Based on that one, declare the dividend. They have the power to grant loans, give guarantee in respect of loans. They are saying that when the board of directors have the rights to grant the loan, means giving loans to the employees. And even in certain cases, the board of directors can become the guarantee of the loan for the other people here. Next one. Authorized to buy back of securities, means the board of directors have the power to buy back their own shares if it is required on certain basis. Approving amalgamation, merger, takeover, means here the board of directors have the power for the amalgamation. Amalgamation is nothing but amalgamating our business with other business. In other concept, we can call them as a merger. Merging means A company is merged with B company for expansion or funds or any other purpose here. Diversify the business of the company. The power of the director will be in such a way that when the business can be diversified if they are gaining more money, just like Reliance company. And the duties of the directors. We have finished the power of directors, and the power of directors questions will be there for you people for examination in the section C. And duties of the directors. Next one. They have to act in good faith. Already I said that one. It is a duty of the director to work in a good faith. They should not misuse the position, whatever they gained or they have got the rights. Act accordance with the articles of association. All the directors of the company, they have to act according to the rules and regulations which are framed in the AOA. To act as to promote the objects of the company. All the directors have to promote the objective of the company, just like giving quality of services and providing quality goods. Act best interest of the company. They have to work for the company and not for the individuality. Exercise duties with due and reasonable care. Work in such a way that will take care of all the responsibility on your shoulders, whatever it is there, and then decide which work has to be done first and what we have to do and when we have to do. If you're not going to plan properly, then you have to face lots of issues in the upcoming days. Not to get involved in a situation where the interest conflicts with the interest of the company. As I said that one, they should not give any wrong statements which may damage between the top level management and the operation level management. Before making any statement, they have to think that one, whether there will be any conflicts or not. Then he cannot assign his office to any. Already I said to people, I cannot give my managing director position to a third party for a certain number of days. Not to achieve undue gain or advantages. As a managing director of the company, I should not misuse my position in the market and gaining some benefits from the market by just saying that one, I'm the managing director of the company and getting benefited for personal use. Thank you, my dear students. And in today's session, we have learned about the concept of KMP, Key Managerial Person. These are the people who are the pillars of the organization, and what are their roles and what are their powers and duties we have discussed it, which makes you people to understand properly and which supports you for the future benefits. And in the same way, the topics, whatever we have discussed in today's session, will be there for the examination purpose for section C weightage of 10 marks, where you can score easily if you go through the entire part here and get into the examination without any hurdles. Thank you, my dear friends.